Okay guys, so this is just a basic mixing tutorial on how to mix your pigments. There's a few different ways. You can do like a drop of resin and then mix your pigments in. And this is mainly for pigments. Pigments are heavy, they're sticky, clumpy pigments, and they are not easily dispersible in liquids, just like micas are. So what I do is I take a couple scoops. In this case, we'll just do 3. That's like 3. And then I take my alcohol and I spritz it. Then I use the end of my scoop and I kind of just mix it around. So you make kind of like a slurry of colorants. You just make sure that you mixed around all the clumps, and the way I do that is I just turn it and you can see the clumps. But if you look how easy it is to mix the pigments when you do this, this is also soap making. This is how you would do it. You would take your pigments and disperse them in alcohol or an oil of some sort. But see how easy that was? It's all mixed. Pretty much all mixed, sorry. And then all I do is you can either let this dry and mix your resin in this cup, and once liquid hits this cup, it will reconstitute it so it mixes in. Or you can just take that little drop and pour it into your resin that's already been mixed. This is Clear Cast 7050. It's a 2-to-1 resin. Cures really hard. And then you just mix it in as you would any other colorant. And as you can see, there's no lumps. There's no speckles of colors, the colorant that's not mixed in like you get whenever you just throw in pigments into your resin. As you can see, there's no speckles in it. And then you just pour it in your mold, obviously, and then you let it cure. Now these have bubbles in them because I did not let them degas properly. I didn't put it in any, I just let it cure. And I poured it in the mold before. So this is a black oxide, which again is very similar to this, only it's black. Yes, there are bubbles, but that's not because of the way I did it. That's just because I poured it and I flash cured it, and it trapped the bubbles in instead of letting it degas. But this is a black one, so it's a black oxide. This is one of the new transparent colors that I'm making. I actually have a big batch of the purple right here. As you can see, it's transparent, looks like glass. It's pretty thick. Oops. It's pretty thick. This is also the same piece, just super thin. It was just like a drop that spread out. But this is the color. You can see. This is the color that I just mixed in resin for the video. Again, I didn't let it cure. I just flash cured it and didn't let it degas properly, so that's why there's bubbles. But as you can see, you can't bend it. It's hard as a rock. This is my neon pigment. This does have a few speckles because I mixed it a little bit too quick and didn't pay attention to the to see if the alcohol had completely dissolved it. But again, ignore the bubbles. But I thought I'd let you guys see how I do it. It's a lot easier and faster to do it this way than it is to drop a drop of resin and then mix it that way. And as you can see, there's no clumps. And like I said, you just do one or two little spritzes of alcohol, just enough to wet the pigment down, and then you just mix it in. So I hope this helps. I don't have like fancy equipment for videos, so I'm just shooting this off of my iPhone. But I hope this helps everybody, and you can see how it's, you know, the dark spots are bubbles actually, they're not the pigment. As you can see on the stick, it's not. They're bubbles. But the pigment is, you know, easily mixed in, and it's consistent throughout the whole batch. There's no freckling, no speckles. It's just a super fast way to mix your pigments. You can also do this with micas. It's not necessary, but you can do it. It's not gonna hurt anything. It's just that the pigments take a lot longer to disperse into a liquid, no matter if it's resin, soap, nail polish. You also pre-disperse your oxides and your ultramarines before you put it into nail polish for that reason, so you don't have the clumps and the uneven coloring of your base. But I thought this would help. So you all have a good night.